Let us continue atomic structure. In that quantum numbers we are taking. In the quantum numbers we will take spin quantum number. In spin quantum number we will see spin angular momentum. Spin angular momentum of electron. Spin angular momentum of electron we will see. Spin angular momentum of electron is equal to square root of s into s plus 1 into h by 2 pi. Here electron is spinning in clockwise or anti-clockwise, so that angular momentum is there. That angular momentum formula is square root of s into s plus 1 h by 2 pi we can say. Next we can take spin magnetic moment. Spin magnetic moment of electron. Spin magnetic moment of electron, that is equal to square root of 4s into s plus 1 Bohr magneton Bm. Bohr magneton we can say 4s into s plus 1. What is s? S is called total spin. S is called total spin. It is equal to 1 by 2 into n. N is called what means number of unpaired electrons. N is called number of unpaired electrons. N is called what means number of unpaired electrons. This total spin is equal to n by 2, that we will substitute. Then we will get magnetic moment is equal to square root of n into n plus 2. N into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. N is called number of unpaired electrons. Okay, so magnetic moment, spin magnetic moment is equal to square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton we can say. Now, what is the magnetic moment of electron? What is the magnetic moment of electron? That we will see. Magnetic moment of electron. Magnetic moment of electron is equal to due to orbital plus due to spin. Sum of these two. Due to orbital is there, due to spin is there. Due to orbital in the sense square root of L into L plus 2, L plus 1. Square root of L into L plus 1. L plus 1 Bohr magneton. Due to spin means square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. Unit is Bohr magneton. In most of the cases, this is negligible. This is negligible. If it is negligible, then we can say formula square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton we can say. This is called magnetic moment due to spin only. Spin only formula we can say. Because this orbital magnetic moment is orbital magnetic moment we have taken as negligible. Orbital magnetic moment we neglected. So only spin means we are taking this formula square root of n into n plus 2 we can take. Here due to orbital we said negligible. In some cases it is considerable. Okay, so if it is mentioned we have to consider. If it is not mentioned regarding this, we can neglect this and we can take only due to spin. Okay, so magnetic moment of electron due to spin only, that is equal to square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton we can see. Next, to describe orbital we need 3 quantum numbers: principal, azimuthal and magnetic. To describe electron we need 4 quantum numbers: principal, azimuthal, magnetic and spin. Okay, so to describe orbital we need 3 quantum numbers: principal, azimuthal and magnetic. To describe electron 4 quantum numbers are required: principal, azimuthal, magnetic and spin. 4 quantum numbers are required we can see. Next, we will discuss about shape of orbital. We will discuss about shape of orbital. We will discuss what is the shape of orbital, sir. Which mathematical solution of Schrodinger wave equation describe about orbital psi? Psi is we can express psi in terms of xyz. Xyz is called Cartesian coordinates. XYZ is called Cartesian coordinates. Then we can express this psi in terms of r, theta, phi. This is called polar coordinates. In these two we can express this psi. This mathematically we are expressing this psi. It is a mathematical solution. Using this we are expressing this orbital. So orbital also expressed mathematically. Okay. Now we will see regarding this r theta phi. We will see. Now we will take it is on axis. Here nucleus. It is on axis. This is on axis. So we have taken three axes. It is x axis. It is y axis. It is z axis. Like this we have taken. Now, around the nucleus, let us consider one point. Suppose the point is this. Around the nucleus, we considered a point. Suppose that point is this one. Now, we will draw a line between nucleus and this point. We will draw a line between nucleus and this point. This line is called, that means the distance between center of nucleus to the center of this point is called this r. R is called what means radial distance. This r. R is called what means radial distance. R is called radial distance, we can say. So r is called radial distance. That is called distance between center of nucleus to center of this point. Okay. Next we will see. Angle between this y-axis and this radial distance. That is what means theta. Angle between this y-axis and this radial distance is what means theta, we can say. Next we can say regarding another angle phi, for which let us drop a perpendicular from this point to xz plane. To xz plane we will drop a perpendicular. Then we dropped a perpendicular. Now this point is in xz plane. Now between this line and the x-axis, that angle is psi. Between x-axis and this line, angle is how much means psi, we can say. So this is about r, theta and phi. Theta and phi are what means angles. Theta and phi are angles, we can say. Theta and phi are angles. R is called radial distance. So now we have given what is r theta phi and what is xyz we have given. Now using this how to go for shape of orbital, that we will see. Now we will take a oneness orbital. For oneness orbital, let us find the shape. Let us find the shape of oneness orbital. Set. Now we will draw the graph. First psi versus r, theta comma phi fixed. Theta comma phi fixed. Okay. Psi versus r, that we will take. Psi versus r for oneness orbital. Theta comma phi, we fixed it, sir. Now we will draw the graph for this. We will take in this axis psi. It is a nucleus. In this axis we will take r. So in the here r psi we have taken, here r we have taken. R is called radial distance. Now how the graph is there for oneness orbital? For oneness orbital, the graph is also. This is for oneness orbital. So for oneness orbital, as radial distance increases like this, what happens to the psi? Psi decreases. Okay. So we can say as radial distance increases, psi decreases and then remains constant. And then remains constant, we can say. So as the radial distance increases, psi decreases and then remains constant. This is for what means for oneness orbital, we can say. So now for this oneness orbital, we will draw the same graph in another way. We will draw it. That is, we will take psi in this axis. Here nucleus. Here we will take radial distance in this direction. In this direction, we will take radial distance. Radial distance we have taken. Then we will draw the graph for oneness orbital. How the graph is there means the graph is like this. The graph is like this. Now it is a nucleus. On either side of nucleus you see, right side you see radial distance increases. Left side you see radial distance increases. How the psi value is there? See, psi value decreases and then remains constant. Here if you see psi value decreases and then remains constant like this. So that here also we can say as radial distance increases, psi decreases and then remains constant on either side of nucleus side. So we can take now we will take nucleus. We will take point here. This point will take, and this point will take point number 1, point number 2. Now point number 1 and point number 2 present in present over this straight line. Therefore, for point number 1 this theta value, and for point number 2 this theta value remains same. Similarly, phi same for point number 1 and point number 2. For phi is same for point number 1 and point number 2 we can say. So for point number 1 and point number 2, theta phi remains same. Sir, what about radial distance? For point number 1, radial distance is less. For point number 2, radial distance is more. That means from here to here is radial distance for point number 1. From here to here is radial distance for point number 2. Then we will see psi. How psi is there means for this psi is high, for this psi is low. This is mathematically derived observation says. Mathematically derived solution says like this. So psi is that means near the nucleus, near to the nucleus psi is high, far away from the nucleus psi is less. That's what this says. Okay. So as radial distance changes, psi also changes. Therefore we can say psi is dependent. Psi is radial dependent. Psi of 1s is radial dependent, we can say, because it depends on radial distance. Psi of 1s is radial dependent. Psi of 1s is radial dependent, we can say. Psi of 1s is radial dependent. That point we can say. Okay. Next we will see regarding theta comma phi. We will see now psi we will take for 1s orbital versus theta comma phi we will take theta comma phi. R we will fix it. We will fix the R. We will fix the radial distance. We will draw a graph between psi of 1s versus theta comma phi. We will draw the graph. Okay. Now we will take in this axis psi, here nucleus. In this axis we will take theta comma phi. We will take in this axis we have taken theta comma phi. In this axis we have taken psi. So how the graph is there? The graph is what means the graph is a sphere. The graph is what means sphere. The graph is a sphere in the sense whatever the angle in the sense either theta or phi, whatever the angle, the psi remains same. The psi remains same. Then only we can get sphere. Otherwise, how we will get sphere? Okay. So whatever the angle of theta around the nucleus, the psi remains same provided R is fixed. So what does it indicate? Now we will see regarding this. We will take nucleus. We will take the point here, one point here, second point here, like this we will take. 2 points we have taken. Now for this distance remains same. This is point number 1, it is point number 2. R here and R here remains same. We took radial distance remains same for these 2 points. But how theta will be there? Theta, if you see for point number 1 and point number 2, how theta is there means different, because different directions. Theta is different for point number 1 and point number 2. Similarly, psi for point number 1, psi for point number 2 is different. Okay, psi for point number 1, psi for point number 2 is different. Similarly, theta for point number 1, theta for point number 2 is different. But radial distance, if you see for point number 1, for point number 2 remains same, we can say. Sir, what about psi? What about psi means the mathematical solution derived by Schrodinger says that psi for 1 and psi for 2 remains same. So is here theta is varying, phi is varying, or remains same, but psi remains same. So now say psi depends on theta and phi or not depending. Theta is different, phi is different, but psi remains same. Therefore, this indicates psi does not depend on theta and phi. So we can say that here what is the conclusion in the sense psi of oneness is independent of angular independent, we can say is angular independent. Psi of oneness is angular independent, we can say. Psi of oneness is angular independent. It is not depending on angles. Like that we can say. Psi of oneness is angular independent, like that we can say. Psi of oneness is radial dependent but angular independent. Sir, next we will take for this oneness orbital psi square of oneness orbital versus radial distance. We will take psi square of oneness orbital versus radial distance. Theta comma phi fixed. Okay. Psi square oneness versus r. Theta comma phi fixed. What is psi square? Psi square gives probability of finding electron at a point around the nucleus. Okay, so psi square, what is psi square means? Probability of finding electron at a point around the nucleus, that is called psi square. So that means this says that we cannot find exactly electron position, probability only we can say. Sir, this is quantum mechanics. Modern atomic theory says like this. Modern atomic theory says this one mathematically. Okay, now we will take a graph. Here we will take nucleus. Okay, 2 axes we have taken. Here we will take psi square, and here we will take radial distance r. How the graph is there, that we will see. The graph is like this. So this graph says that as radial distance increases, psi square decreases and then remains constant. Okay, so as a radial distance increases, psi square decreases and then remains constant here. That's what we can say here. Okay, radial distance increases means psi square decreases and then remains constant for this oneness. We can say. Sir, next here this graph is drawn by keeping a theta and phi fixed. Sir, now we will take the nucleus. We will take 2 points, point number 1, point number 2. 2 points we have taken. These 2 points present in a straight line. Therefore, theta for point number 1, theta for point number 2 remains same. Theta for point number 1 and point number 2 remains same. Even phi for point number 1 and point number 2 also remains same. So what about radial distance? So radial distance for point number 1 and the radial distance for point number 2 is different. Okay, for point number 1 radial distance, for point number 2 radial distance, how it is there means different, we can say. So what about chi square? Here chi square, here chi square, how it is there? So how it is there means a chi square, here chi square is high, here chi square is low. That's what it says. Chi square decreases. Chi square decreases, we can say. So for point number 1, chi square is high. For point number 2, chi square is low. Okay, so here as radial distance increases, chi square decreases. This indicates that chi square depend on radial distance or not. You see that radial distance is different, chi square also different, while theta and phi remain same. So we can say that chi square of 1s. Chi square of 1s is radial dependent. Radial dependent, we can say. Okay, chi square of 1s. Chi square of 1s is radial dependent, we can say. Okay, so next we will see chi square of 1s versus theta comma phi. Theta comma phi. Now radial distance is fixed. Radial distance is fixed. Chi square of 1s. Chi square of 1s versus theta comma phi. Here radial distance we have fixed it. Radial distance fixed it. So how the graph will be there for this? How the graph is there for this, that we will see. So now we will take in this axis, chi square will take here nucleus, here what means theta comma phi. Theta comma phi in this direction, chi square in this direction. Okay, so how the graph is there? The graph is coming as a spherical. The graph is coming as spherical. Graph is coming as spherical. Graph is here, see theta comma phi and chi square. Spherical graph means whatever the value of theta, the chi square should remain same. Then only we will get spherical. Otherwise, how we will get spherical? Sir. So what does it indicate? That we will see here nucleus, we will take 1 point here, 1 point here, we will take 2 points we have taken. Now we will see the radial distance, this radial distance and this radial distance, let us keep same. So radial distance for 1, radial distance for 2, we will keep it as same. Radial distance for 1 and 2, we will keep it as same. But how the theta will be there? Theta for 1 and theta for 2, how it is there means different. And chi for 1 and chi for 2, how it is there means different. Chi for 1 and chi for 2 is different. Theta for 1 and theta for 2 is different. But how the radial distance is there means radial distance for 1 and radial distance for 2 is same. Now we will see chi square, we will see how the chi square is there, we will see. Here we will see chi square, here we will see chi square. How chi square is there means here we are getting shape is spherical. We are getting the shape spherical shape. That means here chi square and here chi square remains same. So how the chi square is there means chi square at point number 1 and point number 2 remains same, we can say. Chi square at point number 1 and chi square at point number 2 remains same, we can say. Then only we will get spherical, otherwise no. So in this case radial distance remains same, chi square remains same, but theta and phi different. So do you say that chi square depend on angle? What do we say? Chi square of 1s, chi square of 1s is angular independent. Is angular independent, we can say. Is angular independent. So chi square depends on what? Radial distance, but chi square does not depend on angle. Using chi square we can say probability. So chi square says that angular independent but radial dependent. Angle is independent means for whatever the angle chi square remains same, that is the meaning. For whatever the angle, whatever the direction, chi square remains same provided radial distance is fixed. If we change the radial distance, chi square changes. If we change the theta comma phi, chi square is not changing. Therefore, this indicates that chi square depend on radial distance but not angle. It is possible for which shape means only for spherical shape it is possible. Therefore, s orbital is spherical in shape. S orbital shape is what means spherical. S orbital shape is spherical. So, to describe this spherical shape, spherical shape, what are the models are there means one is called a boundary surface model. One is called a boundary surface model. Next one is called a electron dot model. Electron dot model. Next one is called a electron cloud model. Electron cloud model. Okay, so we are taking spherical shape. Spherical shape for what? Orbital. Orbital means electron. Okay, so how we are giving this spherical shape means one is boundary surface, one is electron dot, one is electron cloud. So we will see boundary surface. Regarding boundary surface, it is a nucleus. It is the boundary surface for 1s orbital. For 1s orbital, it is the boundary surface. Boundary surface for 1s orbital is this. Next, we will see electron dot. Electron dot model will see it is a nucleus. Electron dot model means we will keep dots like this. We will keep dots like this. We placed dots in this way. Okay, this is what model means electron dot model. This is what model means electron dot model. We can say like this. Electron dot model like this is there. Next one is called what means electron cloud model. That electron cloud model we will see. So how the electron cloud model will be there. Okay, so electron cloud model will be present like this. It is a cloud. Electron cloud present like this, and at center what is there means nucleus is there. At center nucleus is there. It is electron cloud model. So spherical shape will be given in a boundary surface manner, or electron dot manner, or electron cloud manner. Which is correct means all are correct. Depending on the place, respective thing will be used. This will be used in some cases. This will be considered. This also will be considered. So all the things will be considered. Which is correct means we cannot say this one alone correct. We cannot say. It is proposed. It is. We are saying probability only. Probability only we are saying. Exactness we cannot say. Exactness is not possible. Only probability, that is also through mathematical solution only possible. Sir. So for 1s orbital, for s orbital, what is the shape in the sense like this we said. Sir, okay. What about Niels Bohr? Niels Bohr said a circular path. Niels Bohr model will say it is a for which one in the sense for 1s orbital we said it is for 1s orbital. Now we will take a Niels Bohr model. We will take. Now we have taken Niels Bohr model for 1s. Niels Bohr model says that first circular path. First circular path. Niels Bohr model says first circular path. So nucleus will take, first circular path will take. Niels Bohr says distance between nucleus and first circular path is 0.529 angstrom. This distance is how much means 0.529 angstrom. Okay, this distance is that much. So between center of nucleus to this electron, between center of nucleus to this electron, what is the distance means 0.529 angstrom. It is Niels Bohr. But modern atomic theory, quantum mechanics says what? For electron boundary surface, it is three-dimensional. Electron dot three-dimensional, electron cloud three-dimensional. But Niels Bohr says like this. Niels Bohr says first circular path, the distance is 0.529 angstrom. Niels Bohr says. Sir, this is based on quantum mechanics. It is based on quantum mechanics, and this is based on Niels Bohr, which is correct, which is incorrect, which we have to consider, which we have to leave it. That we will see. Sir, now we will take in one axis, what we will take means 4 pi r square psi square we will take in one axis. 4 pi r square psi square we will take in one axis. It is a nucleus. Here we will take what in the sense radial distance we will take here. Radial distance. Sir, why we have taken here 4 pi r square into psi square? Sir, for that we will take oneness orbital. Oneness orbital is spherical. Oneness orbital is spherical. This spherical shape is considered like this. In this spherical shape, we have considered like this. In what way? That we will see. So it is a nucleus. It is the boundary line for oneness orbital. Okay, for understanding, we have written boundary line for oneness orbital. So now let us divide. Let us divide this spherical boundary into infinity number of spheres. Infinity number of spheres, such that distance between neighboring spheres is negligible. In this way, we have to split this. Sir, now we will take first sphere. It is oneness orbital. Oneness orbital we are splitting into several number of spheres. Okay, so first sphere we have taken. This is the first sphere. For this sphere, surface area is 4 pi r square. Sir, for this sphere, radial distance is same in whatever the direction. So psi square remains same at all the points of this sphere. That psi square we will take and multiply with this. So we got 4 pi r square and into psi square. So we got 4 pi r square, psi square we got. So what is 4 pi r square? This first sphere, for this surface area 4 pi r square. In this sphere, whatever the direction, psi square remains same because radial distance remains same. So we will take psi square of this sphere and we will multiply with its surface area. We will get total probability, that is called 4 pi r square into psi square at this radial distance. So for particular radial distance, we got total probability, that here radial distance, here total probability. So next we will take another sphere. How that another sphere should be there means that should touch this, that should touch this one, like that should be there. Okay, that should touch this. So another sphere we will take. We are taking another sphere now. Okay, we took another sphere. For this sphere, it is a second sphere. For this sphere, take surface area 4 pi r square. Set. For this sphere, that means for this radial distance, for 2 radial distance is high, for 1 radial distance is low. For 2 radial distance is high means for this psi square different. For this radial distance, what is the psi square? That psi square you take and multiply with the respective 4 pi r square. Okay, so for this second sphere, what is the radial distance? Okay, for which what is the psi square? That psi square you take it, that you multiply with its surface area, you will get total probability. Okay, so for second sphere we have found total probability. For that, radial distance is different from first sphere. Like this, you go for infinity number of spheres for 1s orbital. For each radial distance you find total probability and draw the graph. How the graph is there, that will see. The graph is coming as like this. The graph is coming as like this. Sir, we got the graph. So now you see the total probability. Where the total probability is highest, that point you see. Where the total probability is highest, that point you see. Okay, so for each radial distance, total probability is given. Total probability is highest for which radial distance you see. So for this radial distance, for this radial distance, total probability is maximum. So we can say that this is called what means most probable location as per quantum mechanics. Most probable location of 1s electron. For 1s electron, what is the most probable location means this. What is this value means 0.529 angstrom. So this is quantum mechanics. As per quantum mechanics, we drew the graph. Now we got most probable location for 1s electron. Most probable location of 1s electron is at 0.529 angstrom. Is at 0.529 angstrom. Now you say quantum mechanics says boundary surface for 1s orbital, electron dot for 1s orbital, electron cloud for 1s orbital. Quantum mechanics says probability only. Quantum mechanics did not say exactness. Quantum mechanics did not say about exactness, only probability it says. Now Niels Bohr will see. Niels Bohr says exactness. At 0.529, first circular path electron will be there. It is Niels Bohr thought. Niels Bohr says at 0.529 angstrom from the nucleus, first circular path electron will be there. But quantum mechanics says we cannot say exactness. Now we will see the graph. This graph is this graph is drawn as per quantum mechanics. In this quantum mechanics, most probable location of 1s electron is at 0.529 angstrom, which is said by Niels Bohr. Then what is the difference between Niels Bohr and quantum mechanics? Niels Bohr says at 0.529 1s electron, first circular path electron will be there. Quantum mechanics says at 0.529 angstrom, 1s electron probability will be most. Okay, so quantum mechanics says at 0.529 angstrom, 1s electron is most probably located. So that difference between Niels Bohr and quantum mechanics, what means Niels Bohr is exactness, two-dimensional circular path. Quantum mechanics is based on probability. So which we have to consider, which we have to leave? We have to consider quantum mechanics, that is modern atomic theory. As per that we have to proceed. We cannot leave Niels Bohr. Niels Bohr postulates we are saying, but which is correct, which we have to consider in the sense regarding atomic model, quantum mechanics we have to consider it. So as per quantum mechanics, 1s orbital shape is what